We are back, and Danny Dumaresque with DarkNL hearings ongoing. What took you so long? Hello. Danny, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here. How are you?
There you go. You're a little bit low.
Am I?
There you go. Now we got you.
Me, yeah.
I don't think I've ever said that Danny Dumaresque is low, but...
Well, my lawyer yesterday chastised me a bit. He said I should have been more aggressive at the public hearing, and I said, well, that's the first as well, somebody advising me to be a little bit more aggressive.
Well, you've set the bar so high, you see. People have expectations.
Yeah, and I certainly don't mean to be aggressive. Obviously, taking on this role, there's certainly nothing personal in anything I'm doing, but I certainly embrace the authority that was given to me as a legal intervener, and I've done my own work to try and make sure that we keep the feet to the fire. And I really believe, Pete, over the last 14 months, that the PUB, through the work of various interveners and the external consultant that they have, Liberty, has certainly brought a lot of accountability to the utilities, and particularly Hydro, and I also want to acknowledge, as did the Liberty report, that Hydro has made strides and has certainly been vigilant in making sure that certain maintenance was done that wasn't done before, and that the reporting of that asset readiness was done on a regular basis to the Public Utilities Board and to the people of the province. So, yes, there was no question that there's been a lot of good work done by a lot of good people. Well,
not that there was any alternative.
Well, I mean, it's their job as well, you know. And of course, if the system had continued on the way it was going back in January of 2014, then of course we would have had a much bigger problem this winter, even with a milder winter than we had on March the 4th. No question about it. I mean, both the Liberty report and the Public Utilities Board report concluded clearly what everybody else has already gathered by now, that the utility failed to do required maintenance, and it failed to have spare parts, and certainly even some of the training was not in place for people in particular positions. And even Liberty has gone to the point of saying there needs to be a major restructuring of Nalcor so that Newfoundland Hydro can have its own executive. And I feel fundamentally about this issue. I mean, I was on the board of directors of Newfoundland Hydro when it was not a part of Nalcor, and I don't care what anybody says. Yes, there were acts of God before 2013, and we all acknowledge that when that happens, and we have sleet storms and we have terrible winter storms that knock out our electricity, we all understand those acts of God. But for the last 3 years in a row, we have now seen rolling blackouts that I believe can be directly attributed to the lack of maintenance and the lack of planning. And the most recent blackout that we had on March the 4th, obviously yesterday the Leader of the Opposition came there and was very strident in his view of how this was mishandled and how the communications broke down. And what I also found quite, I guess, a little bit surprising, but again, it was very welcome. The sister utility, Newfoundland Power, admitted that the communication system and the communications protocol between utilities and advising the public that had been developed and signed off by Hydro over the last year also failed to perform as it should be. And clearly now the PUB has to receive the submissions of the various interveners, and then it will have to issue a final report. And I hope that in that final report there will come orders of the board that will certainly order Hydro back to the drawing board because, with all good intentions aside, the system that they put in place, the protocol that Liberty said must be there between the utilities and for advising the people of the province, definitely when it came to real life, it did not work.
Right, Danny. I got to try to squeeze a couple of things in here with the remaining time, and we don't have very much. First of all, okay, clearly mistakes were made, maintenance wasn't done, etc. We paid for that. They're paying for it now in terms of the black eye they're suffering. Are we okay now? Do you think, in your estimation, your review of things, that we're at a point where we've got most things looked after and we should anticipate better service from here on in?
Well, I still have a very significant concern about the reliability of the 7-year-old combustion turbine because, as you know, at 6 o'clock a.m. on March the 4th, after we spent $120 million and 3 months behind the scheduled in-service date, when we went to turn on that machine at 6 a.m., it would not start. And furthermore, what people don't know at this stage, and I believe it's to be accurate, at 7:25 a.m., when that unit did actually hit the start button, 4 other units were knocked off the system. That was Unit 3, Star Lake, Hardwoods, and Stephenville. And that's what put us into the rolling blackouts. So what I am concerned about at this point is the unit, the CT, actually synchronized completely with the island system, or is there more work to be done, and how reliable is that going to be going forward? So, And the same thing for Unit 1. I mean, Unit 1 now, for the last 3 years, they've had significant problems with it. So I was wondering, did she come back too early from maintenance last year? So I think there's more work to be done.
So not necessarily, essentially, is what you're saying. It's not necessarily all good now. We still have some things to look into. Listen, we're going to have to leave. I wanted to touch on the island mainland link, the fixed link, but we're not going to be able to do that today. We'll have to do it next time. Maybe you can give me a call Friday or something later in the week. Is that possible?
I would like to do that because that is a dastardly part of our Muskrat Falls DO1. Certainly that should be eliminated.
Okay.
There's no win there at all for us.
Okay, let's pick it up then. Appreciate the time today, sir.
Appreciate yours, Pete. All the best.
Take care.